Canada's Wonderland is about to get the largest investment in the park's history. The last major coaster the park opened was way back in 2019, and what they have planned for the next coaster will shock you. Canada's Wonderland doesn't disappoint when it comes to new coasters, and it looks like their upcoming new coaster, already under construction, will be by far the best and most expensive coaster at the park. Canada's Wonderland is also about to enter one of the largest multi-year investment phases, and the park is currently undergoing the largest transformation in history. Canada's Wonderland is already one of the best parks in the country, but with the secret plan they are working on, this park may soon become the best in the world. Canada's Wonderland is the most visited regional theme park in North America, getting an average of just under 4 million visitors each year. It's by far the most attended park in the area and is a massive moneymaker for the Cedar Fair, or soon to be Six Flags chain. This park never really got the investment it deserved, and over the last bunch of years it's been sort of just hanging in there, getting solid new additions every few years. Cedar Fair treated Canada's Wonderland like an upper tier park, being the first of 4 parks in the United States to get a B&M Giga coaster and continuously getting solid investments every few years. Canada's Wonderland isn't just an upper tier park though. Its attendance demands a significantly higher investment rate, and the park ought to be treated like the elite top tier park it truly can be. That time is here, and Canada's Wonderland is already preparing a secret plan to potentially become the #1 regional park in North America over the next few years. Let's start off with Canada's Wonderland's new 2025 massive coaster. The park has already begun construction on one of the most awesome looking launch coasters we've ever seen. While at the time I'm making this video, it is still unknown exactly which ride manufacturer this new coaster will be built by and which model it will be, the new coaster already looks amazing. Amusement Insiders has the most up-to-date information regarding this new coaster, as well as almost daily updates on everything going on at Canada's Wonderland. If you want to stay in the loop, make sure to subscribe to them, and once you're at it, you can subscribe here too. The park originally sent out concept art for what looked like a launch B&M invert or a launch B&M wing coaster coming out of the mountain. Both of these options will be great coaster additions, though personally I'd much rather see the first launch B&M invert. As construction began though, it started to look like the coaster wouldn't be from B&M at all. There are many different pieces of evidence that point to the coaster being from many different manufacturers other than B&M. There are some people that predict the coaster will be from Zamperla, saying they think Cedar Fair might have signed a multi-coaster deal with the company when they hired them to work on Top Thrill 2. I think that's a pretty unlikely scenario though, as it would be smarter from Cedar Fair's perspective to give it a few years before jumping full head on Zamperla to build all their coasters. Others have suggested Mack Rides may be the manufacturer, but I'm not so sure. I do think Cedar Fair will work with Mack Rides again in the near future, but I don't think it will be for a regular launch coaster. I also don't think it will make sense to open a major multi-launch coaster from Mack Rides in 2025, as Epic Universe in Florida is already opening the same model when the park opens in 2025, and that one is definitely going to be more popular. On top of that, Mack does have a lot of other good coaster models, and the traditional multi-launch coasters are definitely not the model they are best at, and there are other companies that specialize in that more. That's where Premier Rides comes in, which I've also heard touted as a possible manufacturer. I've even heard people say the new coaster could be from Intamin, as Cedar Fair executives had been seen checking out Velocicoaster, and it is possible Cedar Fair would be willing to give Intamin another chance, and I wouldn't rule it out totally, but I think Vekoma will be a more likely option. We'll have to wait and see what manufacturer ends up building this new awesome coaster and what model it ends up being, but my best is on Vekoma or B&M. Anyway, this new coaster will be going through the massive mountain in front of the park, and it looks like it will even feature a massive front gate element. The amount of money the park is spending on this new coaster is truly insane, and the fact that construction started so early is truly a testament to the scale of this project. Canada's Wonderland is looking to build a massive, eye-catching, record-breaking front entrance coaster, and it's likely going to be the best and most expensive coaster at the park once it opens. The park is truly going all out with this ride, and I'm very excited to see what it ends up being. A highly themed front gate coaster that also offers views like no other, interacting with the massive mountain at the front of the park, is really straight out of dreamland. This new coaster is surely going to be spectacular, and it'll likely be one of the best coasters we see open in 2025. On top of the amazing new coaster the park is working on for 2025, they are also doing a ton of upgrades around the park in preparation for this big year. The park is likely going to have a record-breaking, very successful year in 2025, and after that we will likely begin to see phase 2 of the massive expansion plan coming to this park over the next few years. If you follow Amusement Insiders, you know that recently there have been survey markings showing up in so many different areas of the park that it's hard to tell what they're going to work on next. The park is working on a lot of different things, and they have a ton planned for their rapid expansion. The current rumor is that the park will open a highly themed family coaster in 2027, just 2 years after their massive new 2025 coaster, which looks to be their largest investment ever. This new family coaster will fill a big gap in their lineup, further increasing the quality of this already awesome park. Phase 2 of Canada's Wonderland's master plan will likely also include a massive hotel, turning the park into a true resort. Once the amusement park and water park are built into a full top quality experience, adding a hotel is a no-brainer. Carowinds recently opened their own hotel back in 2019, and everything is lining up for Canada's Wonderland to do the same over the next few years. The park is really getting ready to step it up, and a new hotel will likely be the final puzzle piece in phase 2 of their massive expansion. Canada's Wonderland will likely see 3 new coasters before 2030, and the amount of money being poured into this park over the next few years is truly insane. We'll have to see if anything changes post the Six Flags merger situation, but I don't think this park will be held back any longer. The attendance numbers speak for themselves, and Canada's Wonderland is truly one of the most successful parks in the country for that reason. There's no excuse for this park anymore, and it seems it's finally this park's turn to shine. 2025 is the beginning of a new era for Canada's Wonderland, and I'm super excited for this park's future. This park's 2025 coaster is the start of something incredible, but Canada's Wonderland isn't the only Cedar Fair park preparing for a big new coaster in 2025. Click here to watch my predictions for every Cedar Fair park's 2025 new investments, and you're not going to believe the record-breaking attractions some of the other Cedar Fair parks are working on opening in 2025.